Hey, it's Olenka from Embracing Nutrition. I'm just going to take a minute to explain about shock proteins. We're seeing loads of hype around an ice bath or a cold plunge, and I just want to give a bit of context into understanding why they're so beneficial. So we produce specific types of proteins called shock proteins in a response to an acute stress, like a shift in temperature. So that can be going from hot to cold or cold to hot. So think of a sauna or an ice bath. And both of these will instigate a stress response, which in this case is actually considered positive, also known as like hormesis. And that instigates the release of these shock proteins. So let's understand why they're a bit more useful. So they're incredibly supportive for our health, and the production of these proteins actually triggers a cascade of benefits. So they, in particular, will help us to adapt to stress and rebuild our stress resiliency. So that will actually allow you to then withstand colder temperatures for longer, or vice versa in hot temperatures. And they're really, really protective as well. So they help to trigger the release of our innate antioxidant system, which protects our cellular health from potential damage and regulates our inflammatory response. It's actually thought to promote healthy aging, cellular health, and build a robust immune system. There's also research coming out on these proteins specifically with a connection to cardiovascular and cognitive health, and having seen an impact on regulating an uncontrolled inflammatory response. So very much impactful for chronic conditions. It's actually also for this reason we see that they're hugely beneficial for our immune system and really help us to fight off infections. So the all-important question is how to boost our shock protein production. So you really want to put yourself in that situation of a shift in temperature. So spending time in a hot sauna, spending time in a cold ice bath perhaps. The easiest way I've found certainly is to take 5 seconds of your day in a cold shower. So start your day straight away building shock proteins, or in fact at the end of your shower, turn it to cold for 5 seconds, and you'll start to see these amazing benefits will come through. I always like to give a 30-day challenge to this sort of experience, and give yourself just 30 days to see how long you can start to withstand and really watch that stress resiliency build. So start with 5 seconds, whether you've got access to a cold plunge, a cold shower, an ice bath, whatever it might be, spend 5 seconds of your day. And it's the consistency that's really important. So rather than doing it once a week, it's very much the consistent exposure that we're seeing. Rebuilding these shock proteins on a regular basis really then has the cascade of benefits that we've just talked about. I just want to lastly finish on, don't forget your nutrition here, because our shock proteins also really rely on a good foundation of nutrients. So in particular, things like polyphenol foods are really important here, which is typically found in colourful fruits and vegetables, so berries, things like that. But also garlic and lots of good fibre can also just provide good amounts of nutrients to allow your shock proteins to work efficiently. I will leave you all to go and plunge in a cold pool.